Osteology, a one-act play. November 1938, Julienne Levy Gallery in New York City, post-show. Opening night of Frida's first solo show. She and Georgia O'Keeffe are the only ones in the gallery. Her painting, What the Water Gave Me, or Lo que le agua me dio, is on the wall stage right. There are a few high tables about the gallery with empty champagne flutes and shot glasses and ashtrays and a pair of straight-backed modernist chairs with a table back center. A small service bar stage left with some bottles of wine and tequila atop its surface. Frida lights a cigarette and offers one to Georgia, who is studying the painting on the wall. Frida will smoke at least 2 in the course of the play, more if the actress playing her likes.
Would you like one?
No, I don't smoke.
Frida walks over to the bar, stubs out her cigarette, and pours out 2 shot glasses of tequila. She brings them over to Georgia.
A taste of what my country produces best then, tequila.
No, thank you. I already had a glass of wine. And to be clear as that glass in your hand, I do believe your country produces art better than its liquor.
She gestures toward the painting. It has a red dot on its frame.
It's quite interesting, this one. Someone bought it already?
Frida has downed both shots and, holding an empty shot glass in each hand, waves her arms about the gallery space.
Yes, can you believe it? Un milagro, at least half of these sold. I love New Yorkers. I think I could live here forever.
I thought so too once, when I was young as you are now. Now I love it still, but not in the same way. You may anticipate this. How old are you, Frida?
Frida sets the glasses down on a high little table, possibly lights another cigarette.
I have 31 years. This one right now is the best of them all.
I have 20 years on you. I am as old as your Diego. Thankfully, my years have not made me into the loudmouth, if arrogant, ass he can be. My dear, you are such a blossom. The flowers in your grave must grow there. You are such fertile soil.
Frida winces and caresses the round of her belly. She pours herself another shot. Georgia is taken aback as she observes.
Oh, my dear girl, I had forgotten your miscarriage.
She extends her hands towards Frida, gently removes the shot glass from her hands, and sets it back on the table.
This is another something we share. I will never have a child either. My fertility is in my paintings and my gardens. I miss my garden when I come to New York. Once you see the land of New Mexico, you never stop needing it. I have a mountain of my own out my window. You should know. And my next house will have a garden so full you will forget you thought you knew what the desert was. You really must come and visit.
Frida plucks out a flower from the braid atop her head and inserts it into the hat Georgia sports.
There, my blossom. You're so beautiful. And you must see my garden, too. At La Casa, I have the most beautiful flowers, but they do not allow me to forget that I do not have children. I can tell this,
She smiles and toys with the blossom she has added to Georgia's hat.
But like you, mi hermosa corazón, sister of bones and brushes too, I too will always have a garden. Flowers love Mexico. And I hope that that Russian is taking care of it all.
I have heard that you and Diego were hosting, or should I say hiding, Trotsky.
Not Diego. Nunca Diego. He would not give up his space. His space is too important always. Leon stays in my side of the house, which I must confess has not been troublesome. It has made it quite easy to know him as a man who is not always busy planning revolutions. When his wife is not watching, at least. But when I go back to La Casa, I will tell him that he must leave. I need my home back to myself. I am so full of paintings.
There are many kinds of revolutions in which we participate, my passionate young friend. You seem to be leading more than one of them.
Not leading, but I follow your lead.
She seizes both of Georgia's hands in hers.
I am so very pleased that you agreed to stay longer here and share this moment with me. My first one-man show.
Ah, one woman, or better yet, simply solo show.
Frida drops O'Keefe's hands and spins around. It's a little awkward because she, in all her movements, shows signs of her skeletal deformation from polio and a devastating bus crash.
Man, woman, beast of burden, or bird that flies to the heavens, ¿cuál es la diferencia? If you have life, you must live it. This is a life for me. Diego thinks that I have this one because of his fame. But you know as well as I do that that's not true.
You have indeed earned your place, my dear girl. This show will tell the world that.
Someday, the walls of Diego's murals will fall. They will crumble. But my paintings will live forever, like yours. Can we sit? And will you stay with me longer? This is the best night of my life, and to share it with you is the largest and the greatest honor. You are better than champagne to me, but my puny legs cannot stand this long. I have been standing all night.
They move to the small sitting area. Georgia sits with good posture but comfortably. She is at ease. Frida is still tightly wound and perches stiffly on the edge of her chair.
I am staying in the city for a while longer now. Then it looks like I may go to Paris. Paris! Breton has invited me. Georgia. Not when Diego is coming. It's for me alone. For you, there is always room.
Ah, my dear one, Paris will love you. Paris loves women in a way America will never manage. Here, they can almost bear to tolerate us. There, they love us. But no, I need to go home. I need my studio and my mountains. I need the colors and the sunshine of my home. I will paint in Hawaii this winter. They have such flowers, different flowers, lushness.
Mexico is like that too. Los colores, siempre los colores. It is why I bring Mexico with me where I go. You cannot live without colors.
I carry the warmth of the sun and the spaces of the desert here.
Stooping, Georgia retrieves the flower that has fallen from her hat and sticks it back into her bun. Meanwhile, Frida is unwrapping the shawl she has over her peasant blouse. She gets up and removes the black scarf Georgia has draped over one shoulder and arranges her colorful shawl on the slight figure of O'Keefe, who smiles and fingers its silky fringe. Like a showy flamingo dancer, Frida throws Georgia's black scarf over her shoulder. She strikes a dancer's pose.
If I had new legs or a spine that moved properly, I would stop painting and be a dancer.
Then perhaps the world is lucky that you had that accident. It has made you who you are.
Suddenly serious, Frida goes to get another shot, which she downs before walking back.
I will never say that that was good fortune. I live in pain. My paintings are about my pain. That painting that you were studying there is pain. El dolor nunca tiene suerte. Some say I'm loca, crazy, that my pain has made me crazy. This painting, they say all those pieces do not belong together. They do not belong in a bathtub. Why do you place a skeleton in your bath? And they quiz me, and I say, how could I remove him from the bath?
Some people say that my buildings have no depth, that my flowers are vaginas. that the bones are what I draw because I have not pushed a baby into the world. You must not listen to anyone but yourself, not even Diego, and never to anyone you cannot identify more precisely than with the impersonal, them. We are not them.
Sometimes I am crazy. Sometimes the pain makes me crazy.
Sometimes I wish I could stop. And just what would you stop? What of your life would you give back?
Not this, not tonight, but the noise. The noise around Diego, the swarms of songs and lovers and arguments, all his women, his men too. Do you feel that with Stieglitz too? The crowds and commotion that they bring with them, like mad mariachi?
No, Alfred is not like that. Even his lovers are quiet. My lovers are quiet too. It's more American. We pretend to be civilized. When I first learned that Alfred was in love with Dorothy, I went completely quiet. Even my brushes stopped. I stopped painting. They put me into that hospital where you first came to visit me. We have to learn to look past it, past all their noise, past them even. I learned that in New Mexico, where the spaces always make you look beyond. It was there I understood that I could allow the same from him, to look beyond and past the immediate. Do you know he has never come to visit my home? I must come here, to him, and it does not matter.
Diego is in love with my sister now.
Georgia tosses her head. The flower she has stuck into her bun falls to the ground again.
It's never easy. Eventually you learn that it's not what's important. What you paint is important.
Frida bends stiffly to pick up the fallen blossom and stands behind O'Keefe. She pulls out a comb from her own hairdo, a fancy comb that might have held a mantilla in place. She holds out the comb so Georgia can see it.
May I comb your hair with this?
Georgia nods and relaxes, closing her eyes. Frida hums as she combs O'Keefe's long, graying hair. It's very sensuous. The strokes of the comb in Frida's hands that weave O'Keefe's hair into a braid.
Your hair is gray so young, but it is still as lovely as it was in those early photos he made of you.
I was young and in love then, and we did love each other's bodies. I even loved those photographs myself. I think that is when I knew I loved myself.
I do not love myself. If I paint myself 2,000 times, I do not think that I will love myself, so I will paint myself 3,000 times.
As she braids, she borrows hairpins from her own hair and pin them into a coil. Eventually, the two of them will bear similar styles. As Frida's falls more loosely, Georgia's becomes more contained.
There are many kinds of love and many ways to show it. When you are as old as I am, I think you will know this. Maybe Paris will hold this mirror up to you.
Frida comes around to survey her handiwork from the front. She finishes it by repinning the flower into Georgia's braid.
There. Now we are one. I wish I had a mirror to show you. Come. We can see our reflection in the glass of my painting. I'll do it once.
Georgia looks into the painting as Frida goes to the light switch. A bright light falls upon the painting's glass and pools around the women. The two of them gaze into the glass and then squarely at each other. They hold each other's hands, then turn and walk slowly off stage together, Georgia supporting Frida a little. The end.